of you, there we go, that want this recorded. For those of you that don't have a Thermomix, there's a couple of things that I'm hoping will happen today. And that is that you're going to watch this and you're going to see all the different things that the Thermomix can do, and you're going to see how it can solve solutions in your kitchen. Or you may be someone that goes, might not be for me, but I know someone who would absolutely love this. If you are one of those people, please get in contact with one of us and we could do a cooking demonstration or a virtual like this, whether it be face-to-face or this, and we could do that for you. Then there's the other people that watch us and watch how much fun we have and go, wow, I want to do that too. And you can earn your Thermomix. That is the most popular and probably the most fun way to get a Thermomix. So at the end, I'll refer it back to you guys and see which one you were and where you're at, and we can go from there. With regards to a bit of housekeeping, guys, when you're watching this, if in the top right-hand corner, there's the gallery view and the spotlight view. If you watch the spotlight view, that's where you'll get your clearest vision of the Thermomix during our cook. And if you've got any questions, we have the lovely Helen working behind the scenes today, and she will post up the recipes links that we're doing, and she will answer any of the questions. And Helen, please shout out if there's any questions in the chat box that we need to answer on screen. So today we are cooking myself. I've been inspiring people in their kitchens now for 8 years. I'm a team leader here and absolutely love what I do and love my team. I'm very grateful for those that we've got on the team. And one of those team members is Jane, and she will be cooking today. So what we might do is head straight over to Jane, and she's going to be doing the first dish.
Hi, and thank you, Kirsten. Today we are going to cook a miso chicken noodle soup. Now this is great for gut health. It's really nurturing. It's got some great ingredients. So let's get started. So our first step is to prepare our noodles. I have done that using the thermoserver. I use this because it'll keep the water hot. The noodles, it's got a lid that fits well, and that will just sit and wait until the recipe calls for it. So we're going to click next, and we are going to add our ginger. So it's 20 grams. I've just pre-weighed it, and I'm going to put the lid back on, click next, and it's 3 seconds, speed 7. So when it's a really short speed and you've got to dial a short time and dial the speed up, you want to give it, a good twist and get the speed going, and get the machine chopping because it's only 3 seconds, and you want to get it chopped up enough. So I mean that's pretty amazing how quickly that just chopped our ginger. So now we're adding the chicken broth. Now I'm sorry, I've just left it in the fridge, so I'm going to grab it.
Don't pull over the puppy. Jane's got a puppy at her house today. Jane is one of these wonderful people that takes on puppies that are being trained. So, yeah, she's got it running around her feet today, which is quite funny.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, so I do apologise for that. So so you can just use normal chicken stock for this recipe. It gives you options. And the great thing is that there's always, or not always, but generally with some steps, they'll give you tips, and I'll go through that later. But what I did do, the tip did say you can make your own turmeric chicken bone broth, which I decided to do this morning. I had some chicken wings in the freezer that I needed to use, and I had all the other ingredients, and I did it. It's about 2 hours, but you know what? Best thing is Thermomix did it all. And I've just been left with this most amazing, chicken broth. So I'm just going to add it in. It is 1,000. So, it's got all great, additional benefits in here, which really helps to give that gut, some really healthy a healthy boost. I actually had a drink of it before because I felt really like cold and tired and not getting much sleep last night. I just, you know, had a glass of that and it was just delicious. So I'm adding the white miso paste. So it's just 50 grams. I'll just put that in. Click next. Adding my tamari. Put that in. The tamari is just gluten-free soy sauce. And I'm going to put the lid on. Click next. And it's speed 1. So that's going to cook for 10 minutes and we're going back to Kirsten's kitchen.
Okay, well, today I am doing the teriyaki chicken. And the reason why I have chosen this particular dish today is it is a super quick meal. The prep with regards to the vegetables does take a little bit longer if you want it looking all fancy. But you could also do a cheat. And rather than, you know, it says things like matchbox for the carrots, matchbox matchsticks, but you can just chuck all your vegetables in, speed probably 5 for about 2 seconds, and that would give you just the perfect, if you're not worried about it looking, you know, amazing, then that could be a really good cheat for you. And then it is the most, you'll see today, the most fastest dish ever. So I've already got mine up on the screen here. So let's press start cooking. And we've got 10 grams of olive oil. Now you can just, you don't have to weigh your olive oil, guys. You know, if whatever you do on the fry pan, you can do it here. I have weighed it just for today, but that's because I'm just showing you guys. And then we've got 250 grams of skinless, boneless chicken thighs. No one in my family eats thighs fillets. They all want the white chicken. So I have just done chicken breast. So I've just chopped it up, you know, just imagine chicken teriyaki in a bowl. That's sort of the size that I've done. So I cut into thin strips, 5 millimeters thickness. So I'm popping that in. And I have just touched the chicken. So I'll just quickly give my hands a quick wash. Alrighty, and we're going to hit next. Now, with the TM6, so guys, with regards to this recipe, it can be in the TM31. We've got someone wanting to enter just there. So can someone let Claire in, please? So we've got, with the TM6, it has a high heat function, which is absolutely fantastic. So you can do this in the TM5. There is, in the tip section, there is a different way of cooking it, a different method. So you don't miss out there. But with the high heat function here, we're going to pop the splash guard on and we're going to brown the meat. So if we just say confirm that we've put that on, nice safety feature. And what this splash guard does, I'll just turn the dial to get it started. But what that actually does is it stops you from being able to lift this up and have a look in. The reason being is it's high heat, so there is oil splashing around. Same if you're cooking things like honeycombs and stuff like that. You don't want hot sugars coming up and burning you. So this is a safety feature where you can't lift it up. So for those of you that don't have a TM6, this is the exciting part. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on Zoom, but you can start to hear it sizzle. So it is browning all of that chicken and slowly moving it around, which is really, really awesome. Once that's done, I'm actually off camera going to pop that into a little thermoserve. So these thermoserves you can actually get as a host reward. What are they? We've got them in all different sizes. We've got this one. This is the white one for fermenting your yogurt. This actually fits inside your Varoma. So you can pop your yogurt overnight in your Varoma and then pop it straight into your fridge. And then we've got the oval one as well and the normal one. So these are all host rewards, guys. So if you were to invite 2 people along to one of these virtual cooking experiences, then you would get the discount on these. And if they were to end up buying a Thermomix, then you get to choose one for free. So that's pretty cool. So if you know anyone that would like to see one of these, then invite them along and reap the rewards. So So that's that. Now, I think Jane will still be cooking. Can I just do a shout out to you, Jane? Are you still cooking? She's got 5 more minutes left. Excellent. All right, so what I might do is I'm going to bring you over to, so excuse me walking around my kitchen. This is my other Thermomix. Now, Jane, if you can just unmute yourself when you're ready and we can pop back over to you. But I'm just going to show you just on here all the different modes of the Thermomix. Now, if you can't see them 100%, that's okay because I am going to explain. So you've got your main screen, which is your time, your temperature and your speed. However, we've got all of these modes in here. So we have our inbuilt scales, which is there. We've got our dough function. The beauty of the Thermomix is you're not taking out different blades, putting different blades in. It is all one blade, whether you're making ice cream, whether you're making a soup or a beautiful curry, all different. There's no different blades. We've got our turbo function. Turbo function is absolutely fantastic for, say, mincing meat or making beautiful cocktails, those sorts of things. So it's just really fast and mincing things on a super powerful mode. We've got our pre-clean. This, my friends, is my favourite. If you have the 31 and the TM5, if you know someone that has a 6, go and check this out. And I think that alone would make you go, I want the TM6. It is super awesome. So what this is it basically cleans for you, but I'll show you the difference. So the TM5 does have this option, but it's not as good as this one. So what we do is, it depends what we've been cooking, but we put a litre of water in and just a dash of detergent. And then we choose what sort of clean we want. So we have got here dough, universal, fat or caramel, or the next one round is browning. So it will go on, so whichever one we choose. So for example, if you have been making honeycomb, you can set that to the browning mode because it might be really sort of sugary or fat and caramel sort of work on the bottom. And it will heat up to particular temperatures and it will spin, go one way, go the other, but it will give it a really good clean. So then all you have to do is take it over the sink, rinse it out, give it a little wipe. There might still be a bit of food residue on there, and you're done. Or if you've been cooking, say, I don't know, something that you need to make sure it's 100% clean, you may want to put in the dishwasher. Because the other thing with the Thermomix is it's all dishwasher safe, which is really fantastic. So not only are you saving on time with the Thermomix, but you're also saving on things like washing up and all of that, because you can make most of your dishes that you will see here today, they're one pot wonders, which is really cool. So we'll go back to the next mode, and we've got here blend. So we're talking soups, those sorts of things, you know, making them velvety and silky, really lovely. That's your smoothies. You can make beautiful smoothies with the blend mode. We've got our egg boiler, and the egg boiler, I know it sounds really simple, but this is fantastic. So you're not standing there waiting for the water to boil, then setting your timer, then hovering around the kitchen, waiting for it to go. You just pop your eggs in. Let's say we put 4 eggs in, litre of water, and we choose how we want our eggs done. So we just turn the dial, we go round, and I want mine medium hard. I walk away, I go and hang out the washing or go and read my book, and it will tell me when they're done. Simple. How good's that? So that is that. The next thing I'm going to show you is, we'll go back to the modes. I'll finish the modes. We've got kettle. That's self-explanatory, guys. We've got warm-up mode. Now, the warm-up mode, when we think about a microwave and we think about when you heat up food, you've got all these hot spots, especially for those of you out there that have young children. You don't want to be heating up food. You know how you test it on your lips and there's a really hot part and a really cold part. Well, with the Thermomix, it's all even temperatured cooking. So what you can do there is you can set it to say, I don't know, if you've got a young child, maybe 40 degrees, like a baby, 35, 40 degrees, and you can know that that's going to be heated up perfectly. For the adults, you know, if you're heating up your spag bowl from the night before, or a curry or a soup, you can set it to 85, 90 degrees and know that there's not going to be any cold spots or hot spots. It's all the one even temperature. Then we've got our thicken. Jane, how many more minutes have you got left of yours?
We're down to about 10 seconds.
Ah, perfect. I'll finish the rest of them in a moment because we want to go and see what you're doing. So let's flick over to Jane.
All right, hi, and we are just finishing the last step of the stock, the tamari and the stock. Here we go. All right, and what it's asking us in this step is to add our 500 grams of chicken tenderloins. And did ask to halve them, so I have just long ways down the middle. I just half them. So we're just going to place them in the broth, which will become our soup. Now, by making our own turmeric chicken bone broth, you know, it's using the bones, the chicken bones. It's the collagen and the gelatin in those bones that give us really, you know, good sort of, you know, and like gut health. So that's just one step. I'm going to explain more further down the track, but you know, making things from scratch is always better and so much easier with Thermomix. So I put that in. It's asked me just to stir, put it on the stir, and it's 8 minutes. And that's just going to poach for those 8 minutes. Now, so gut health, you know, there's a number. Gut health contributes to, you know, a number. I'm actually just reading this because, you know, so much going on in my mind at the moment. But gut health can contribute to a healthy, strong immune system. It also heart health, brain health, and improved mood, sleep, vitality, and also effective digestion. So it is something, you know, really sort of to think about. And sometimes when you've got those, you know, a few aches and pains in the belly, you know, it might just be, you know, not necessarily always the food you eat, but you might be able to introduce some of these, you know, gut health options. There is a great collection on the Cookie Do, and there's 2 gut health books, which is actually where this recipe came from. And that's all, yeah, great to check out if that's what you're interested in. And then also the turmeric and chicken broth is there as well.
Awesome, Jane.
No worries.
Okay, back to me. So for those of you that don't have the Cookadoo subscription, you don't have to have a TM6 to be on Cookadoo. You can have a TM31 or a TM5. So I will just explain that in a sec, but I'll start cooking this part of my dish. So as you can see, I've just popped my brown chicken into my little mini thermo serve and popped that aside. Now, the next step, so yeah, use tongs. It's so user-friendly. It's following the bouncing ball. So it's just telling me to pop it in there and retain any juices in the mixing bowl and cover to keep warm. So what we're going to do is, so scrape the base of the mixing bowl well with the spatula to loosen any caramelization. And then we're going to pop in eschalots. So I have just done brown onion because that's what I had. And as I said at the very start of this, you could just put all of these in at the very start and just chop speed 5, 3 seconds. You don't have to cut them all, you know, in a really nice fashion. 100 grams of red capsicum, de-seeded and cut into 2 to 3 centimetre pieces. So, you know, like that. So pop that all in. There we are. And then we're going to do 50 grams of the carrot cut into matchsticks. Now, someone did ask me the other day, how do I do that? How do I do it so finely? I'll just show you, because not everyone has one, but I actually use a peeler. So if you can see, and I just got that from the supermarket, and that does the matchsticks. So I use that for zoodles, zucchini noodles, all those sorts of things. So just a little tip for you there if you weren't aware. And 30 grams of snow peas, trimmed. I've just, you know, cut mine loosely. You could make them really pretty and slice them up thinly. And we've also got 120 grams of broccoli, and I have used broccolini. I like that better. So pop that all in. And we're going to hit next. And we're going to put in 20 grams of olive oil. Once again, you know, just splash it in and hit next. And then it's asking me to put on the splash guard again. So let's pop our lid on and then the splash guard. And we can see that that is going to go for 5 minutes on high heat. So we will turn that around. All right, so that's that. And I'm going to bring you back to our modes. So let's go walking through Kirsten's kitchen again. And we're back over to this one. So how did I get a second Thermomix? I became a consultant. And then, you know, you've got all these sort of milestones that you can aim for. And I actually was lucky enough to get a second Thermomix in the business. So I just had to make that clear because I don't want you to think that I'm one of those people that goes and buys two. I did earn it. So we've talked about warm up, and the next one is thicken. So thicken, think of things like bechamel sauce, hollandaise sauce, gravies, those sorts of things. When we're talking about bechamel sauce, for example, why do I love the Thermomix? Well, that is one of my selling points. When I saw how easy it was in the Thermomix, where you just put the ingredients in, press the button, walk away, and then it will chime when it's done. How cool is that? Because I don't know about you, but I know so many people that really struggle with that sauce and often don't make it because it is a pain and it comes out lumpy, not in the Thermomix. And that's the beauty of this machine. It makes things so simple. Then we've got our rice cooker. Well, that's self-explanatory. Whether you've got brown rice, white rice, whatever rice you're doing, it will make the most beautiful fluffy rice for you in the Thermomix. And then we've got these last three here. So fermentation. So this is where you can turn your Thermomix on and pop in your yogurt ingredients and it will cook overnight for you. So you can wake up with beautiful fresh yogurt, which is really lovely. I don't know, with regards to, especially if you have young kids again, and I do refer to kids a lot because I have kids myself here, but if you've got kids, you will find that yogurt is super expensive. Making it yourself, it's really a litre of milk. That's sort of what it costs you. So the savings there are huge. Slow cook, love the slow cook. So a favourite recipe here for us is the pulled pork. Absolutely love the pulled pork, and I'll show you that recipe when I show you cookadoo. But that is just brilliant. And, you know, you can, it's just like your big slow cooker, but we've got this one, and you can then shred all the meat in there. I think Jane's going to talk about shredding meat a bit later. And then we've got our sous vide. So sous vide, if you're feeling a bit chefy and you want to do an amazing steak, I know that Helen, who's on behind the scenes today, she actually cooked a steak with a beautiful butter sauce the other day, and she said it was absolutely amazing. So the vacuum sealed bags are on our mix shop, and you can, there's heaps of recipes to follow there. So really, really awesome. So there are our modes, guys. I'll take you back over. And Jane, how are you going for time over there?
We're down to about 15 seconds. We're almost ready. We are. very
Good.
interesting today.
Yeah. So how good's that? Over to you, Jane.
All right, brilliant. So it's just finishing that last step of cooking the chicken in that broth. So we're just going to wait, and then we're going to transfer it. What I've done actually is I'm just transferring it to the thermoserver. We'll just click next. So I am going to use a slotted spoon. Now I am using a thermoserver that does have my noodles in it, which is fine because I'll just use my tongs when I need to, but I'll just lift the chicken out. And we've got to leave the broth in there because that will form our soup. That is my puppy in the background. So let's just, sorry, take this out, just make sure we've got it all, because we are going to shred the chicken. Now, I will actually shred it in the Thermomix because I do have another bowl, just so I can show you how easy it is to do that step. Sorry, it's hard. That broth is so beautiful and rich in colour and smells divine. It's hard to see where the chicken actually is. So.
Yeah. Another one that you could use that broth for, I think, would be wontons. Would that be really nice if you made wontons, Jane, and had that in the bottom with, you know, maybe a bit of bok choy and...
Absolutely, that would be delicious. All right, so I am going to just set that aside. A little bit just fell out. So I'll put that in. And now we are going to, sorry, I just spilled that. So we're going to leave the soup in the bowl. We're going to add our lid back on here because we want to put our varoma on top. And now we are going to prepare the vegetables to go in our soup. So we've got the Savoy cabbage, which I pre-weighed earlier. It just says, that's a little bit chunky, thinly sliced. So however, you know, you choose to do that, whether it's a mandolin or a knife or a vegetable grater, that's up to you. A bunch of Asian greens. I'm using bok choy, so we'll add that in as well. So I love this because it just gives you suggestions, and then you can use either what you've got on hand, or if it was broccolini or Chinese, another Chinese cabbage, you can you know, choose what you want. And we'll put the varoma lid on, and we're now going to cook that varoma for 5 minutes, and it is on 2. So it does say, and while this is cooking, to shred my chicken. I am going to wait, and I will show you. You know, my chicken and my noodles are staying warm in the thermoserver. My broth will be fine. For the 3 seconds, it will literally take me to shred that chicken. So we'll do that. Now, Kirsten, am I back to you, or am I?
No, you're back to me.
Back to you.
Back to me. Excellent. So now the vegetables have cooked. So remembering I'm doing the teriyaki chicken, and we have here, I'll just show you. So these have been sort of lightly sauteed, I guess, if that's what you could, but they just look really, really beautiful. So we're going to pop them as per the instructions, transfer into a thermal serving bowl. So we'll put them in where I've got the chicken. And I'm just going to give that a really quick scrape down just to get all that carrot out. And that did actually brown it. So if I can show you the onion in there. So when we're talking upgrades and things like that, so I don't know if you can see, but it has browned the onion. So we'll pop the lid on there, keep that nice and warm. No need to wash the bowl because you want all of those beautiful flavours to go through into your sauce. So we're going to hit next, scrape it, which I've done, and do not clean the mixing bowl. Don't we love that? I hate when you read clean the mixing bowl. 10 grams of fresh ginger peeled. So there we go. That may be a little bit more. Yep. I love ginger. So, you know, the beauty of the Thermomix, you can eliminate things if you don't like them, or you can add things if you love them. Same with ginger. So 10 grams of ginger. I've got, pretty spot on actually, 10 grams. And then we're going to pop the lid on. And we're going to hit, we're going to chop this. So we're just going to go for 8 seconds and we're going to chop. Now I could tell that that was done already pretty early in the piece, and you could stop that if you wanted to. Look at that. The smell is glorious. So all chopped up. There we go. So I'll just give that a quick scrape down. There we go. My son's just come down. I think he might be able to smell the ginger and garlic cooking, and he wants to know what's on. Okay, we'll hit next. Now we're going to pop in, now Jane just spoke about tamari. 70 grams of tamari. We're making the sauce for this dish. And this dish is actually by Skinny Mixes. So I would thoroughly suggest that you do have a look at Skinny Mixes. All of her recipes, if you're looking for inspiration, as well as cookadoo, of course, which I'm about to show you, but all of her recipes are quick and they have heaps and heaps of flavour. So my kids love Skinny Mixes recipes, so check her out if you haven't had a look online. So 70 grams. You could use soy sauce if you wanted to. Seems like a lot, but it's actually the whole sauce. So there we go. And 30 grams of honey. Pop that in. Sticky, gooey honey. There we go. And next, 2 teaspoons of gluten-free corn flour. So there we go, done. I actually did once just use flour because I didn't have corn flour, and that still worked fine as well. And 2 teaspoons of water. So we'll just go 1 just to even out that corn flour. And pop the lid on. And I wish you could smell my kitchen at the moment, guys, because we had all those sauces and now the garlic, and it's just really lovely. So that's going to go for 3 minutes. Whilst that's going, I'm actually going to go and share my screen and just quickly show you cookadoo and what that is all about. So here, just get my microphone away from the Thermomix. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and just quickly show you what cookadoo is. So anything that you see on cookadoo, you're actually going to be able to do on your Thermomix as well. I'll just get rid of this if I can. There we go. All right. Right. Okay. Can someone yell out, Helen or Jane? Can you? No, you can't. Can you see my screen?
Oh, you want your screen spotlighted? No, can't see it.
Okay. Just bear with me for a little second. Right. So share screen. We want that one. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Excellent. So you're looking at cookadoo. So I'm going to go into the main part of cookadoo. So this is our system. As I said, whatever you see on here, you can actually do on your Thermomix, you can do on your phone or your iPad. But what we'll do here is we'll just do a quick little search for a chicken dish because we've got chicken in the fridge. Let's do a search. Okay, so you've got 421 recipes that have come up. You could open up your filters and you could go looking for, you know, a main dish that you want with chicken or a soup perhaps. There's all different ways you can search. I'm not going to go too much into Cookadoo today. We do offer, you know, just Cookadoo nights where we can do sort of an advanced course of going through Cookadoo. So get in contact with your consultant if that is something that you want to have a look at. But what I'm going to quickly show you is that we can go down and we'll click open all the English-speaking countries. So we've got the UK, United States, and Canada. Now that has opened up to 995 results that show chicken. Pretty cool, huh? So let's say, oh, I really like the look of chicken and spinach lasagna. So we can add that to a collection, add that to our week. So when you talk of collections, you could add it to, my daughter's name is Chloe. So you could go, well, Chloe loves that. So I'm going to add that to her collection, call it Chloe's collection. So then when she goes to turn on the Thermomix and cook, she can go straight to her collection and know that that particular recipe is in there, which is really, really cool. But we're going to add it to my week to show you how to meal plan. So let's look at the calendar and we can go, I think I want to cook that on Saturday. So we'll press save and you can go through, you know, doing your meal planning, chicken, spinach, enchiladas. We have that often, love that one. But you can go through, do all your meal planning for the week. Then if you see up here, you can go to my week and here's your meal planning. So you can see all that and you can see that we're cooking this today. I was showing another customer the creamy coconut chicken and I'm going to a cooking experience tonight and I'm showing them chukki rice, which is fried rice. This is a particular recipe that we recommend if you would like to see because it showcases the aroma. So get in contact with your consultant if you would like to see sort of, you know, you've got the steaming component of your Thermomix as well, and that's a really good recipe to showcase because we're not actually showing that today. But you've got all these recipes here in your week, and then we go add to shopping list. So we've got our shopping list, show ingredients, we'll bring that up and you can email it to yourself. You can go to the supermarket with your phone and tick off things as you'll see here. So brown sugar, already got that, don't need it. Water, don't need that. Rice, don't need that, but I do need bacon and I do need frozen green peas. So you can go through, work your way all the way to the bottom and then you might need some shampoo. You might need, I don't know, a new saucepan, but you wouldn't because you've got a Thermomix and you wouldn't be using a saucepan. Anyway, but you get the drift. So you can add all those things on and then to be super exciting, look at this. You can go straight into order ingredients, choose your store. Well, we've got Woolworths. We're partnered with Woolworths at the moment. So then we go in and it has brought all of your ingredients that you need and put them in here. Obviously, it has just gone straight to particular brands, but that doesn't matter because you can swap them out for what you want. So if this isn't the normal brand of fried shallots that you purchase, you can swap, find the brand you like, select it, and then you can, once you've done all of that, you can add to Woolworths cart and it will take you to your cart and you can choose to get delivery or click and collect. All right, I'm going to bring you back over to my Thermomix. So if we just swap cameras again and I'll stop sharing there. Excuse me for a second. Stop share. Excellent. Helen's all over it today. Thank you so much for being so good at the spotlighting. We do have an itinerary in the background, but we don't always follow it. And Helen's being swapped all around, but that's okay because she's doing a brilliant job. All right, next. So my sauce has actually been done and the smell is ridiculous. So I'm just having a look at this. So look at this beautiful sticky chicken teriyaki goodness. So it says pour the sauce over the chicken and prepare it. So I'm going to do that. And I think Jane's got maybe 1 or 2 more steps. So we're going to head over to her whilst I'm doing that.
Thanks, Kirsten. Okay, so just in the background, I have finished cooking the cabbage and the Asian greens. I have just played them up into a bowl. I added the mushrooms to the broth, and they have just cooked. So if I just go back without doing the steps, I can just show you. It was add the shiitake mushrooms, the enoki mushrooms. You can use whatever mushrooms you like, or you can find in the shops. And it was cooked on 2 minutes in the broth, 2 minutes at 100 degrees. So now it is, well, I'm actually just going to sit that aside, because what I do want to show you, which is additional to what the recipe is step by step is asking, is just how easy it is to shred chicken. So if I put my chicken back in here, because literally it is 3 seconds. It's brilliant for sandwiches, for tacos. There's a recipe for enchiladas on Cookie Dough where you can use, you know, shredded chicken. Just makes life so much easier, and it's great when you're just using the one bowl all the time. So I'm just going to swap my MC over. Now I am just going to do it as a manual cook. What I have been doing was a guided cook with a step by step. This is a manual, so I've got to set my time, which is 3 seconds. Now I can hit that. I don't need any temperature. I do need speed, and I need it to be reversed. So I am just going to click the little icon with the blades, and it now has said reverse is enabled. And I'm going to chop that for 3 seconds, reverse speed 5.
And I love this because Jane's showing us that if you're a creative cook and you don't like following recipes, you can tell the machine what to do, which is absolutely fantastic. For those that don't like cooking, you know, you can hit next, and let the Thermomix do all the work for you. But if you want to have a little bit more control, it is still there to help you in every way, but you can guide the machine what you want to do. So thanks for showing this, Jane.
That's all right. And what was nice about that then too is that although I was in a guided cook, you know, using this recipe, I actually could just do a manual section at the same time. And when that step was finished, it automatically, or, you know, it still held my position in my guided cook. So I didn't have to cancel out, and I just kept my place in my guided cook. So I've now just put the noodles in the bowl. I've gone back a couple of steps, so it tells me what it is that I should be doing. So I'm now going to add my shredded chicken, and have a look at that. That is like 3 seconds. I just wouldn't even think to do it with a fork these days. So I'm going to now, and you can shred it to, you know, whatever consistency you like. It really is, you know, everyone's different, which again is a brilliant thing about the Thermo, because you can shred it as much or as little as you want. Okay, so we've done that. We've chopped it with the shredded chicken. We've already cooked our mushrooms to go through. And now we're going to divide our soup into the bowl. Now, look at that. There is like mushrooms floating in that. Just give it a little stir. That is, oh my God, my stomach is grumbling for all this delicious goodness. So we're just going to pour it on. I know it's a bit hard to see. So you can obviously just pick and choose how much you know, it does say serve 4. It might only serve 2 in my house. My husband is home, so this is what he will be having for lunch today. All right, so we've added that in. Hit next, And we're going to top it with our spring onions, which I've just, finely sliced. You can, whether you want them long ways or whether you want them round, it's really up to you. And I am going to sprinkle with toasted sesame seeds. Now, I do just want to talk to you about the steps or the tips actually that came with this recipe. So if I do go back to the recipe detail and I scroll right through my screen, right down, it has some hints and tips. Now, these are great. Always go, if it does mention there's a tip, go and have a look at them, because it might be a substitute for an ingredient that you can't find. It might be, a quick tip. It's always a little valuable insight, of knowledge. So for this particular one, it says choosing your noodles. It talks about the noodles. I actually used today the seaweed noodles. You can use whatever dried noodles you choose, noodles of your choice. So it talks about, good options for noodles and things like that. It does talk about replacing the liquid stock with a homemade bone broth, such as the Teriyaki Chicken bone broth, which I made earlier. Or you could make the chicken stock paste and add the 2 teaspoons of that to 1,000 grams of water, and you have got your own chicken stock. So there's, 3 options there, depending on what you've got on hand. It also talks, gives us a hint that we can add other fermented foods, to that soup. But it also says that, fermented foods, miso is a source of probiotics, beneficial bacteria, which can also help support your gut health. So referring back to why they suggest, this is good for your gut.
Lots of tips there, Jane, aren't there?
There is. It's great. Let's avoid cabbage. It talks about the probiotics and the fibre in those. And then talking about, additional vegetables that you can add. So, yeah, really valuable information. I'm always eager to check out what they are. And they get listed in the, ingredient list.
Yeah. And for those of you that are watching your diet, or if you are calorie counting and things like that, they also have all of that information on each recipe in your machine. So that is very cool. But what thought I would show you now is the finished product of mine. Look at that. So all I did, I put the noodles down the bottom, and I just dressed it with chili and coriander and some sesame seeds, which is what they said to do. And it is seriously such a beautiful dish. And look how much I've got left in here with all that beautiful sort of caramelized sauce, I guess. It is absolutely delish. So guys, hope you enjoyed today. And I hope that we have inspired you in some way. For those that don't have a Thermomix, what's included when you purchase one? So the price is $2,269. You get everything that you saw here today, plus you also get the steaming component up here. So as I said, we can do another virtual, your consultant can do one, just speak to them about that. But you also get your consultant. So we want you to rave about your Thermomix and keep telling other people and referring them to us. So we want to be there on the journey with you and help you learn and get the most out of your Thermomix. The other option, so we've got payment plans, we've got 24-month interest-free. And as I said, joining the team, earning your Thermomix, it would be the funnest way. I personally would say the funnest way. You get the most out of learning about your Thermomix. You join a wonderful community, and you may not, if you don't get the 6 sales, then you'll reduce the balance. So 4 sales, that's $1,000 off your machine. So, it's worthwhile doing. So speak to your consultants about that as well. Jane, you haven't presented your dish, have you?
Sorry, there you go. I can't tip it up too high because it's got the
You'll
soup.
spill it. Yum. And that's, as Jane has told us today, that's just sort of healthy, yummy goodness. Awesome. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed your day today. Helen, if you want to also put, when we're talking about joining the business, we have an information session. You don't have to participate. You can just sit back and watch. It's on Zoom. We have them every Wednesdays and Thursdays. So Helen can put the Zoom number in the chat box if you want to have a look at that, or reach out to your consultant and they can tell you the times. But thank you for today, and we hope to see you again soon. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Sorry, I forgot all about putting that number in the chat.
Oh, I just removed the girl that was watching.
That's okay.
Well done. I'll just stop recording.